Hello everyone and welcome back to MMA Lad. In today's news, Jon Jones gets a $50 million offer to fight Francis Ngannou. Jon Jones might be gearing up for a fight with Tom Aspinall, but a jaw-dropping $50 million offer could change everything. PFL founder Don Davis just put a wild proposal on the table. A super fight between Jones and Francis Ngannou to determine the undisputed MMA heavyweight king. Davis took to social media, writing, "I know one way Jon Jones earns $50 million. Francis Ngannou, to decide the true MMA heavyweight champion and the real pound-for-pound #1. That would be the fight of the decade for MMA fans." Fans have been dreaming about this fight for years and now the opportunity is back on the table. But will it happen? That's the $1 million, or rather $50 million, question. Tom Aspinall accuses Jon Jones of conning the public. Aspinall, the UFC interim heavyweight champion, believes Jones is avoiding tough fights at this stage of his career. During an interview on the Impulsive podcast, he didn't hold back saying,
"Jon is conning the public, man."
Whoa. And Logan Paul, it's his favorite fighter.
Yeah. Oh, is it really? Well, listen.
I mean, he's definitely top three. He's definitely top three.
Absolutely. I'm not disputing that he's an amazing fighter. I think the fact that he didn't want to fight Ngannou for 3 years, and now he's not wanting to fight me for over a year, and the way he manipulates the media and the public is super smart. I'm not taking anything away from him, but do I think he's scared to take the tough fights at this stage in his career? Absolutely.
Aspinall isn't the only one questioning Jones' intentions, but behind the scenes, it seems like the UFC is moving in the right direction toward finalizing a fight for the undisputed title. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like to support the channel. Robert Whittaker on whether Leon Edwards is done or not. During his appearance on the MMA Arcade podcast, Whittaker shared his thoughts following Leon's loss to Sean Brady at UFC London.
As we said in our predictions, we came into it thinking, which Edwards are we going to see? And within about 30 seconds, I was like, this one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And that's it. Like, it's got to the point, like, I don't like all the fans that was like, now you see a post there like, Edwards is now officially washed. Nah, dude, he's fighting the best in the world for one. So have some respect. But let's also look at Leon Edwards to Sean Brady is a match made in heaven.
For Sean.
Like, if you could draw up a character that you want to fight that is as like in your advantage stylistically, I think that's the fight to make. Like, exactly what you said. Like, Bilal really highlighted the blueprint to beating Leon Edwards. And but in saying that, so many people have done that before as well, giving him a hard time by pushing into his space and making him uncomfortable. Okay, it's Sean Brady did to a ticket. He was closing that space. He was walking him down. He was throwing unorthodox punches and bunches. He was mixing and clinching. And then once he started establishing takedowns, and once the threat of the overmat takedown was there, he took him down the first time he shot. Really, so he just controlled that fight. He controlled that fight so well.
Do you think it's time for Leon Edwards to call it a career and hang up the gloves? Share your thoughts down in the comment section. Alex Pereira just added a Ferrari to his car collection.
Portanto, será que tá na área? Essa... Hã?
Charles Oliveira demands rematch with Islam Makhachev at UFC 317. The lightweight division just got a major shakeup. Charles Oliveira has officially called for a rematch against Islam Makhachev at UFC 317 during International Fight Week, and he's making sure the UFC hears him loud and clear.
MMA tem muito cara que tá, falando demais de história no UFC. Eu posso falar, eu vou fazer 15 anos. Recordista de bônus, finalização, cara que quebra recorde, sou eu. Então olha só, eu quero lutar na Fight Week, Makhachev também, Dana, Shelby, Hunter. Vamos fazer isso acontecer. Eu quero muito essa luta, eu tô em busca desse cinturão, eu quero se tornar campeão mais uma vez. Entendeu? Então eu vou escrever essa história mais uma vez. O UFC, vamos fazer isso acontecer. Essa é a luta que todo mundo quer ver. Eu tô pronto. O Makhachev tá falando demais que quer essa luta. Então com certeza vai ser uma grande guerra. Fight Week, essa é a luta que vocês querem. Essa é a luta que vocês vão ter. Dana, UFC, Sean, Hunter, vamos fazer acontecer.
Oliveira and Makhachev last fought in October 2022, where Islam put on a dominant performance, securing a second-round arm triangle choke to take Oliveira's belt. Since then, Charles has been on a mission to reclaim what he believes is rightfully his. Now he's going straight to the top, calling out Dana White, Hunter Campbell, and Sean Shelby in a video posted to his social media. With lightweight contenders like Justin Gaethje and Arman Tsarukyan also in the mix, the UFC has options. But Oliveira isn't interested in waiting, he wants his belt back now. Will the UFC grant him his wish, or will he have to fight another contender first? Charles Oliveira fires back at Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria might have just earned himself a new rival in Charles Oliveira. During a recent ceremony in Spain, where Topuria had a street named after him, the featherweight champion took aim at Oliveira after being asked if he'd be open to a friendly walk down the street with Du Bronx. Oliveira, however, isn't playing games. In an interview with AG Fight, he fired back, saying, "I've been in the UFC for 15 years and I've never spoken poorly about anyone. I think he was disrespectful. I just want to remind you that the most difficult weight class is lightweight. I've been part of it for years, so I have something to say. He has to go through the weight class calmer, slower, because there are a lot of tough guys who deserve respect." Oliveira made it clear, Topuria doesn't deserve an immediate title shot at 155. Instead, Oliveira has his eyes set on a rematch with Islam Makhachev. If Makhachev moves up to welterweight, we could see an Oliveira versus Topuria interim lightweight title fight this summer. Either way, Oliveira isn't letting Topuria jump the line without a fight. Huge update on the UFC betting scandal. The UFC betting scandal just took another huge turn. It all started back in 2022, when fighter Darrick Minner suffered a mysterious leg injury just over a minute into his fight. The strange betting activity leading up to the fight sparked an investigation into illegal betting, and it led directly to former UFC fighter and coach James Krause. Now, new suspensions have been handed down. On Tuesday, MMA journalist John Morgan reported that the Nevada State Athletic Commission announced. NSAC announces an adjudication agreement for Darrick Minner following the non-disclosure of a serious injury before a fight in his 2022 pre-fight medical questionnaire. He receives a 29-month suspension, terminating on March 26, 2025, and must pay prosecution fees of $235.66. But that's not all. Jeff Molina, a fighter linked to Krause, was also hit with a 3-year suspension for failing to report Minner's injury and using inside information to bet against him. Meanwhile, James Krause is still under federal investigation, and the UFC has made it clear, they're not allowing any fighters to work with him while the case is ongoing. Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus Du Plessis prediction. With Khamzat Chimaev expected to get the next title shot against Dricus Du Plessis, middleweight contender Roman Dolidze just gave his prediction. He believes Chimaev's aggressive wrestling could lead to a quick finish, saying,
With the middleweight division up top, it looks like it's going to be Khamzat versus DDP next. Maybe Nasruddin Imavov works his way in there, but we'll see. Assuming it is Khamzat and DDP, who do you think wins that fight?
Khamzat is a very skillful fighter. Sometimes he can hit hard, and he is a hard worker. We are in striking style, we are like very similar. We just go hard, 100%. But Khamzat have a probably highest level of wrestling in our division. Great guy with great skills of grappling. Not super high level on the ground, but he has skills to finish anybody on there on top. And if he will manage, and I think he will take down. He can take down Du Plessis in the first couple rounds, and he will finish him in these couple rounds. I will say that Khamzat will win, but if fights will go longer, and it also can happen because Du Plessis is not an easy fighter. Du Plessis, I'm not saying that he is easy fighter. Du Plessis deserved to be champion. He did enough and everything to be there on top level. It's just styles, If Khamzat will get job done in 2 rounds, Khamzat will win. After 2 rounds, I think Du Plessis will take the fight.
With the fight likely happening this summer during International Fight Week, fans are in for an absolute war. With massive fights looming, heated rivalries developing, and a potential $50 million fight offer on the table, the MMA world should expect nothing short of exciting. But will Jon Jones take the deal and fight Ngannou? And will Chimaev prove he's the best middleweight by bringing DDP's reign to an end? Let us know what you think by leaving a comment down in the comment section. And if you enjoyed the updates, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily MMA news. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.